director of public relations. There's no alternative.
We made up their minds and they started packing. They left before the sun came up that day. An exit to eternal summer slacking. But where were they going without ever knowing the way? They drank up the wine and they got to talking. They now had more important things to say. And when the car broke down, they started walking. Where were they going without ever knowing the way? Anyone could see the road that they walk on is paved in gold. And it's always summer, they'll never get cold. They'll never get hungry, they'll never get old and gray. You can see the shadow of wandering.
Buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today Hamas has apparently agreed to this ceasefire deal from Trump, although probably with some modifications. And we have some, random responses in regards to it. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, check out the Discord link if you want to join that. And all opinions welcome. So please, come by, talk shit, do whatever you got to do. Just nothing pornographic or grotesque. And also, everything I show you here will be linked in the description box. So take advantage of that. All right. Let's first hear from Hamas's response to the Trump proposal. Here we go. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, important statement regarding Hamas's response to the proposal of U.S. President Trump. Out of concern to stop the aggression and the genocide being inflicted upon our steadfast people in the Gaza Strip, and based on national responsibility and a commitment to the principles, rights, and supreme interests of our people, the Islamic Resistance Movement, Hamas, conducted in-depth consultations within its leadership bodies, extensive consultations with Palestinian forces and factions, as well as discussions with brotherly mediators and friends in order to reach a responsible position in dealing with the plan proposed by U.S. President Donald Trump. After thorough study, the movement has made its decision and has delivered the following response to the brotherly mediators. The Islamic Resistance Movement, Hamas, appreciates the Arab, Islamic, and international efforts, as well as the efforts of U.S. President Donald Trump, aimed at halting the war on the Gaza Strip, achieving a prisoner exchange, allowing immediate entry of humanitarian aid, rejecting the occupation of the Strip, and opposing the displacement of our Palestinian people from it. In this context, and in a manner that achieves an end to the war and the full withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, the movement announces its approval to release all prisoners of the occupation, both living and the bodies of the deceased. According to the exchange formula included in President Trump's proposal, and with the provision of appropriate field conditions for carrying out the exchange process. Carrying out the exchange process. In this regard, the movement affirms its readiness to immediately enter into negotiations through the mediators to discuss the details. Okay. The movement also reiterates its approval to hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip to a Palestinian body composed of independents, or technocrats, based on Palestinian national consensus and supported by Arab and Islamic backing. Okay, so they mean like Palestinian Authority, I would assume. But but they kind of changed it. If you've noticed, like while I'm reading all this, that they're changing certain things around in regards to that original 20-point deal that I guess had some Israeli changes as well. Well, let's just keep reading. Here we go. As for the other issues included in President Trump's proposal that relate to the future of the Gaza Strip and the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, these are subject to a comprehensive national position and must be based on relevant international laws and resolutions. These matters shall be discussed within a unified Palestinian national framework in which Hamas will participate and contribute with full responsibility. The Islamic Resistance Movement, Hamas. And they date it and all that stuff. I fucking hate reading, bro. Is what it is. So there's Hamas's response. Like I said, there's things in here that they just make changes themselves. Like there's no even mention of, what do they call themselves? The peace unit, the peace something, right? That's gonna overlook Gaza, headed by Trump and Tony Blair and people like this. I mean, I'm all with just ending the massacre that's happening over there, but it does seem like there's room to continue that in a different form or in a different way, for sure. But let's keep looking at certain things. By the way, Trump did tweet this out, or the White House tweeted it out, the actual response from Hamas, but allegedly it got deleted. Probably because it has the word genocide in it. Hey, where's that at? Yeah, out of concern to stop the aggression and the genocide. That probably is why they took that down. Because they're not allowed to say that, even though the UN says it and a whole shit ton of other countries say it. But just something I want to point out, little things. And then here's Trump's response to Hamas's response. Based on the statement just issued by Hamas, I believe they are ready for a lasting peace. Israel must immediately stop bombing of Gaza. Just keep that in mind. Israel must immediately stop the bombing of Gaza so that we can get the hostages out safely and quickly. Right now, it's far too dangerous to do that. We are already in discussions on details to be worked out. This is not about Gaza alone. This is about long-sought peace in the Middle East. Okey-doke. And we have a video thing. This is very recently. Was this like 20 minutes ago? Like 20 minutes ago. Like 30 minutes ago, actually. Let's give it a play.
I want to thank the countries that helped me put this together. Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan.
Just one AI.
And so many others. So many people fought so hard. This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down in concrete. Very importantly, I look forward to having the hostages come home to their parents and having some of the hostages, unfortunately, the condition they're in, come home likewise to their parents because their parents wanted them just as much as though that young man or young woman were alive. So I just want to let you know that this is a very special day, maybe unprecedented in many ways. It is unprecedented, but thank you all, and thank you all to those great countries that helped. We were given a tremendous amount of help. Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East, and we're very close to achieving that. Thank you all, and everybody will be treated fairly.
That's just, to me, once again, my sketchy radar's going off, especially ending with a statement like that.
What was supposed to be happening today that Trump ended Gaza war?
He didn't end the Gaza. Well, Hamas accepted a version of the deal that he put out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unprecedented.
No, it's not unprecedented. Yeah. Hamas has been accepting a shit ton of ceasefires, and Israel has been breaking them.
Oh, shit. Well, damn, Trump.
Well,
what's going to happen there?
If you ask me, I mean, this they could say all the nice words they want. You can probably smell where they're actually going to move towards, but let's be honest. And this is something like I I I vibe with this idea. People are like, okay, whatever stops the like relentless bombings, whatever stops that, whatever stops the full scale starvation of a shit ton of people, we'll take it. I understand that. I absolutely understand that. So people like that will accept this, but they shouldn't turn their radars off because expect for guys like this, these quote unquote technocrats coming in, Palestinian technocrats. I don't care. I don't give a fuck where they're from. They are going to reap and sow up and down the Gaza Strip, most likely, for their own benefit, not for the people there. But once again, if it stops the bombings, it stops the starvation, the shelling. I'm pretty sure Palestinian people would accept that, and people around the world would accept it. It's just can't take your eye off these motherfuckers, not for a fucking second.
Yeah.
And as I continue on with more of these stories, you'll see why that should be the case. But let's continue on. That was Trump's statement. This is like very recent. He just said this. As you can see, reaction from the Qatari government and their support for this deal. You have Egyptian response. Everything will be sourced. I'm not reading all this, but it'll be sourced in the description box for everyone. And yeah, this. Breaking. Israeli sources report that Netanyahu was surprised by Trump's reaction to Hamas's statement. In consultations held after Hamas's response, Netanyahu reportedly viewed it as a rejection of Trump's plan, emphasizing the need to coordinate with the U.S. to avoid the impression that Hamas responded positively. Although experts dealing with the abductees saw the response as potentially opening a path to a deal. I mean, the thing that, at least to American audiences, the thing that Netanyahu talks about all the time is the hostages, right? And that's one of the things that Hamas is like, yeah, an exchange of hostages. All of them. Just have to make sure other certain things are taken care of, too. And I was just watching a stream, a Jeremy Scahill stream, where one of these guys were talking about, like, you can't just do that overnight. Like, there's actual, like, logistics that have to be done. It can't just be, all right, everybody, free to go. There's, like, a whole process that's supposed to happen. And when there's time, when there's lull time in certain geopolitical events, bad things could happen during that. I'm sorry to sound like a downer, but these things need to be said. Because sometimes people get caught up in something they view as positive happening, and they miss out on someone trying to screw them over. So I just feel the need to really make those things stated out loud. And here's a person that would sounding like they're moving towards the pot, like, hey, stop bombing, right? You have Code Pink, Medea Benjamin, right? Wow, great statement by Trump. Israel must stop bombing immediately. Well, Medea, after this announcement and all this stuff, despite Hamas' conditional acceptance of Trump's peace plan and his call for Israel to halt bombing, Israeli forces are intensifying their attacks across Gaza. So they increased, actually. And like I said, when you have lull time in regards to people accepting deals and what are the official terms of the deal and when do you sign the deal, these type of things can happen. I mean, pretty notoriously, the U.S. doing negotiations with Japan, right, in World War II, and they didn't immediately accept, right? They went back and forth with offers, and what happened? Hiroshima and Nagasaki happened. I'm just saying. But I can read here: over 10 Israeli airstrikes hit Sabra neighborhood. Fires. I mean, this is like within minutes after the fucking acceptance, and trust me, with a state apparatus like Israel that has intelligence, they have social media people, they have everything. So they knew about all of this, about Hamas accepting the deal or a form of the deal, or at least sitting at the table and giving up the hostages, right? So they know as they're doing this stuff. But yeah, over 10 Israeli airstrikes hit Sabra neighborhood, fires raging, and 3 Israeli armored vehicles exploded. Jesus Christ. 2 Israeli airstrikes near Al Noor Center. I mean, this is crazy. Al Noor Center for the Blind. I'm sure those guys are in Hamas too, right? The blind people. Lovely. A nearby school targeted after evacuation. Many civilians and displaced people are stranded in streets and roads without shelter. Israeli shelling, airstrikes, and armored vehicle explosions continue in Al Shati, Sheikh Radwan, and Al Jalaa. Now, the armored vehicle explosions, I believe those are those where they kind of like retrofitted, like old, like army, like kind of truck thing, Humvee looking things, right? And these things would be like remote control driven into areas. It would drop a fucking bomb out the back of it and just blow up. And it's like, holy Christ, is that just blatantly indiscriminate? And once again, sorry to look at the dark side of this, but let's be honest. There has been a massive amount of criminal actions that have taken place. And this deal will allow for, if it all goes according to plan, it'll be wiped clean from history. I mean, all of it. And it's like, damn. Shouldn't we document what happened here so it doesn't happen anymore? Nah. These guys will protect each other. They'll protect their friends. Remember, Trump is culpable in the actions that are going on over there. It is not, Netanyahu by himself. Like, no. It's large parts of the Israeli government. It's large parts of the U.S. government. It's large parts of the U.K. government. It's large parts of the French government, EU, all of it. Other Middle Eastern nations. There's a large amount of hands that are part of this particular crime, amongst others. Israeli artillery and air attacks persist across north, east, and south of Gaza City, meaning everywhere. But let's continue. Oh, wait, there's more here. Israeli artillery shells the northern areas of Al-Nusrat camp in central Gaza Strip. So, yeah. The idea of intensify, I mean, I swear, I'm watching a post of Hamas accepting a deal, and on my feed it'll say like 20 minutes ago. And you see something that's like just, 10 minutes ago. It's like, oh, they're bombing. Like increasing the intensity of bombing. And I could see them actually reading it the way, where is it? Where it's like, this is a rejection of Trump's plan. That's how apparently Netanyahu and his people are taking it as. And they might say that because they're not accepting the exact 20-point deal that Trump had. Well, let's be honest, they revised it. Netanyahu sat down with Trump and they revised it to something else. And then Hamas is essentially rejecting that idea. And parts of the original as well. As in, you're not just going to have this orange penguin and the UK war criminal Tony Blair overseeing what happens at Gaza, when these guys have direct responsibilities on why things got fucked up in Gaza. Well, why things continue to get fucked up in Gaza is what I mean to say. But okay, let's continue. So apparently this was on Israel's Channel 14. Someone named Tamir Marag, a diplomatic correspondent. Israel must test Hamas with this trial. Let's see if it releases all the hostages within 72 hours. If it doesn't, Israel can dismantle it. And if it does, even better. We get the hostages back and Hamas will continue refusing to disarm and leave Gaza. Then Israel can dismantle it. It is very likely that this is a trap set up by Trump and Netanyahu for Hamas. Now, I view that as extremely possible. Extremely. I mean, what Israel was saying, like, for a while, they were like, hostages. Then, after a period of time, they started saying something different, which is Hamas must be eviscerated. And you heard a lot of American influencers, like off the top of my head, I can remember Matt Walsh saying, how do you expect them to, eviscerate Hamas? How do you expect them to do that? Almost like moving the goalposts, as in, let's say Hamas just gave all the hostages back for nothing. Well, they still have Hamas there, so we got to keep bombing. And that could be a thing that could, let's be honest, if there's no guarantee of a state, there is no guarantees for Palestinians. Straight up. And we've seen the Trump administration be absolutely reckless with human life. We've already seen that. So what would make the people that the U.S. apparatus wants in there, as far as Gaza and probably even the West Bank too. Let's focus on Gaza right now. You think these guys are going to throw away a good business deal for themselves? Once again, you have investors, like billionaire, tech bro investors lining up to get a piece of Gaza. You're telling me Trump's just going to throw that away? It was in his original 20-point plan, right? Then they revised with Israel, where those technocratic plans are still there, and now you have Hamas accepting a version of this newly revised deal. Do you think they're gonna be okay with this? With someone like, I don't know, like this Larry Ellison guy maybe being a part of what's going on in Gaza, or Tony Blair, or Trump himself? I mean, these guys once again are lining up to make shit tons of money in the Gaza Strip. I don't think Trump would just throw that away for peace. So guess what? There is a possible chance that they get the hostages back and they just go right back to fucking warring it out and displacing people so that they can take over and have their little techno, wonderland. I mean, maybe am I misreading this? Does this word technocrat, where is it? It means something different. Right here. Right? Gaza Strip to a Palestinian body composed of independent technocrats. Does that mean like just Palestinian technocrats, like people from the outside that are Palestinian in blood, go there and run businesses and shit? I mean, they're speeding towards this shit, dude. Like, for real. And also, let's just throw out the idea of Iran. Listen, we need to get this over with so we can focus on Iran. And to all the people, like, hey, I could be wrong. To all the people that are right now dick riding Trump, like, oh my God, see, a peacemaker, which would be just incorrect. But if you're feeling that way towards Trump, I'll tell you, don't turn your blinders on, dude. Keep your eyes open, because these things never work out the right way. Not the right way for us, for what people are asking for. It works out the right way for the devil worshippers that do these policies. It works out for them, fine. It does not work out for regular people, though. We get fucked. Leaving Iraq, disaster. Leaving Afghanistan, disaster. Now they want to go back into Afghanistan for more disasters. I don't know why anyone would think this would be different, but once again, I understand the position of just stop the killing. Whatever stops the killing. I understand that completely. But Palestinians said, yo, Jordan, listen. They just need to stop doing it. I've lost family members. They need to stop doing this. I'm not getting in that person's way. I will say it regardless. I will say, like, you need to keep your eyes open, though. I understand, but keep your eyes open. But I'm not going to, no, don't fucking do it. Yeah, I'm not going to fucking try to step in front of them and stop them from trying to survive. Not going to do that. So let's just read this, actually, because quite interesting. Larry Ellison to fund Trump's new Gaza project. Leaked documents reveal that Oracle co-founder and staunch Israel supporter Larry Ellison will bankroll Donald Trump's Gaza plan, which plans on transforming the enclave into a free trade zone under the leadership of Tony Blair. Now, if you guys are going to tell me that they're going to throw this thing away because they love peace, love, and harmony so much, I haven't seen these motherfuckers behave that way before.
The saying that one person, like we're talking about nations, right? And
Yeah.
and I guess he has hit the richest person level recently.
Hmm.
But one person is bankrolling, like
No, no, no,
I
no,
guess
no.
replacing a country.
No, he's gonna be probably the biggest contributor, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Thus received probably the biggest return, right? And then because his procs will be
Yeah.
used all up and down the fucking place, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. Of
So,
course, it's for his interest to get even more out of it. But
but others will throw
like,
cash in, right? Trump's family will
yeah,
throw cash, like Kushner will throw money in. These guys will make an
they'll
investment to
invest.
get a
Yeah.
fucking profit out of it for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not just 2 or 3 billionaires, like it's a bunch of people. And you think those guys are gonna throw all that shit away to appease Palestinians or world peace to other people? I don't think so, man. I just don't think so. But let's keep reading here. Ellison has pledged 350 plus million to the Tony Blair Institute, which is deeply integrated with Oracle to shape Gaza's future using AI surveillance and corporate governance tools. Uh, I mean, a lot of these tech shit is already there. Remember when I guess Netanyahu had the Israeli tech bros like hack everyone's phone in Palestine and made them watch his fucking UN speech. I mean, that's incredible. Uh, there we go. Blair's role isn't incidental. Ellison is a close Netanyahu ally, a major Friends of IDF donor, and a rising media and tech power broker in the U.S. and Israel. His partnership with Blair positions a private billionaire state nexus to administer Gaza's reconstruction and control its population through technology. And once again, they've already been doing it. They've already been using facial recognition. Like I said, with the hacked phones, they already use all this shit over there. In fact, some people say it looked like a fucking testing ground as a way to maybe test out some of this technology. Because guess what? You have a powerless, like security wise, powerless population against a high tech military. Like you can do whatever the fuck you want over there. At this year's World Government Summit hosted by Blair, Ellison outlined his vision. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. We need to unify all national data into a single platform for AI. Gaza is set to become the test bed for the. There it is. I didn't even read this before, so. Gaza is set to become the test bed for the surveillance driven experiment where U.S. political power, Israeli interest, and Silicon Valley infrastructure converge. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty dark. And I'm going to say it for the 8th fucking time now. I don't expect this stuff to just go away. I don't expect that to just disappear now and, sunshines and rainbows will happen. It's,
That's a horrifying quote.
oh yeah.
It's a quote. It's not like a paraphrase. It's
Yeah.
like he's being very open about just controlling and the whole way of thinking that someone's like, hey, if we're watching them, then they'll was best behavior, to be on their best behavior. That that that's a form of intimidating a population. It's not saying they'll be on their best behavior because like because we educate people in like what works better in life. It's like
Yeah.
the thought that surveillance says that is like that's horrible. Like who wants to live like that and choose it? That's
Uh,
he's choosing it for people.
well, maybe people getting bombed every day. They'll be like, all right, we'll take that over being bombed every day. It's crazy. And also, like, this is like some, I think it was it Axios or it was Vice or something like that, where I watched a clip of a video. And it seems pretty conspiratorial, but hey, I'll just throw the idea out there of like there's a guy, I guess they were in China or something, and this dude jaywalked, right? But
Mhm.
like no cop stopped him or anything like that, right? He just jaywalked.
Yeah.
You come to find out, he looks at his bank account and there's a fine amount of money deducted
Yeah.
from his bank account, as in like just automatically done,
Yes. Yeah,
which
my
is
understanding that
crazy.
that's not conspiratorial. That exists like currently in China.
I just want to say that, just saying that as like a fair warning for people, so they don't just dismiss something immediately. But yeah, that is apparently a real thing. Now
Mhm.
expand that to a population where you don't have a state. You can't rise up and change the rules around because all these nations and all these corporate and rich technocrat motherfuckers will be running the state. Or at best, Palestinian technocrats will be running the state. And so what choice do you have? There's no chance to fight against it. You don't have a as a lot of some of these Israeli politicians say, there is no such thing as a state of Palestine. It doesn't exist. That's why they fight so hard against that, because now it's just lawlessness. But yeah. Okay, I mean, I'm sure there's even more news coming out now. I don't know. But here's where we're at. Here's where we're at so far. Once again, I hope they end the bombings and the bombardments and the shelling and the starvation. I hope that ends straight up as soon as possible. I can't say I know it's going to happen, but I hope it does. And even after that's taken care of, I still don't expect such a nice thing to be happening to Palestinians or any of us. That idea of a test bed where they're testing those things, who do you think it's going to go to? Who's it going to be used against when they figure out the perfect way to do this tech thing? Everyone. Duh. I mean, that could sound conspiratorial, but you see it over and over again. Straight up. So, yeah. There's still problems on the horizon that need to be paid attention to, even if there is a moment of, okay, oof, they stop bombing for at least a couple days. Because it's been daily. And starvation is, yeah, they're in some horrible, they need immediate medical assistance over there for a decent amount of people. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if Netanyahu or the Israeli government talks to Trump and he changes things around. Or maybe maybe Hamas gives the hostages back and, all right, we got the hostages. Let's keep blowing them up. No one of value is there anymore. We can blow them up now. We won the PR thing. We got the hostages back. That's all that matters. And it's interesting. I saw, like, we've all been hearing the ideas of the flotilla, right? I was trying to bring food and aid. Apparently, they're terrorists. If you try to bring like baby formula to a starving population, apparently you're a terrorist if you do that. But either way, those guys got stopped, detained, and now getting deported or held in prison for a while. And these aren't really nice prisons at all. These are not where Ghislaine Maxwell is right now. They torture motherfuckers in there, straight up. And but there was, at least I saw. I can't say I exactly know, but there was flotillas of Israelis that were going to try to get in to get the hostages back. At least that was the statement there. I'm like, fuck, I don't know about that, guys. And that's really dangerous to do. But I understand if people, activists and people that care so much, they try to do things. There's people trying to walk into Gaza to bring aid, like from the Israeli side. Israeli citizens trying to walk into Gaza to bring aid. And of course, what happened? They got their teeth kicked in, they got choked out, they got beat up, right? Because these peace-loving people are apparently the worst criminals on planet Earth, and you can't let them do anything. You got to keep them away from positions of power in politics, and when they try to do things on their own, you got to stop them there too. Brilliant world we fucking live in, isn't it? And I'll say this is my last thing I'm going to say here, and it's in regards to Donald Trump. Let's say this deal goes by, it gets signed, everyone agrees to it, it stops the genocide, Palestinians get food and aid and all that stuff. It doesn't erase all the time beforehand. He had 4 years, and now he's had, what, 10 months? 9, 10 months? This guy has done horrendous shit in there. He's been directly a part of it. Some say even more aggressive than Biden was. I would just say more overt, but some might say more aggressive. If people let this motherfucker off the hook for that shit, without a real sense of a sincere apology for doing these horrendous things, I'm going to freak out. But at the same time, I don't think I could be surprised based on the actions that I see people do. I mean, he's literally, like, the same day they do all this, they just bombed another boat in Venezuela, or off the coast of Venezuela. With no evidence. They provided no evidence to you. They just do it. Somalia, still bombings. Syria, still supporting an Al-Qaeda group that's killing who knows how many people. There's less of an eye on it. I mean, the tensions with Iran, all of it, still going on. So, before you want to get on your knees and hand them a Nobel Prize, Trump fans, really examine what happened here. But either way, I'll leave it there. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Tell me your thoughts on this. What do you think? Is something, is it a mixed bag of positive and negatives? Is it straight negative? Is it straight positive? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Also, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. They're charities. Please donate if you want to, or share their stories or whatever. Also, there's a Discord. You can join in. It's Halloween month. I play some horror movies, in that Discord. Please join up. All opinions are welcome. I mean, all opinions. You could be the most raving racist. You can be the most peaceful dove. All of it is welcome with speech. Nothing pornographic or, grotesque. And then also, everything I showed you here will be linked in the description box, so take advantage of that. Yeah, that's it. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a castle, how will you wear your leisure? You zip it back